You know how they say that there's it's not just homeschooling, but just like Catholic girls and so on. Just because like there's moral, you're forbidden to do certain things. Like there's a kind of liberating feeling of saying, like, basically rediscovering yourself, rediscovering your freedom by doing just diving head first into sexuality, into your own sexuality. Is there some
Yeah.
aspect of that?
Yeah, absolutely to some degree. I think that like people kind of model it slightly wrong. Like I think there's a truth to it. But when I first got out of the house, for me, freedom was like going outside at 2 a.m.
Yeah,
or like eating chocolate,
yeah,
on days that I previously wasn't allowed to eat chocolate. Like that was like a really intense expression of rebellion for me. And
yeah.
I think people like don't think of this. Like I got out a lot of my like intense rebellion through things that people don't typically consider to be rebellious at all.
Sure.
Like I wore a bikini.
Yeah.
Insane.
And just like walked around in it and like, I can do this.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And so like this was most of that emotional processing for me. And I took me a couple years from leaving home and all of that conservative culture into doing sex work. In the meantime, I did try having sex with a lot of people, but this was mainly because I didn't know what the norms were. I didn't really understand. I was just like, okay, take things logically, take things one step at a time. And I'm like, okay, if the whole previous set about like how I'm not supposed to kiss somebody until the altar of marriage, if that's not the way that things are supposed to go, then what is the way things are supposed to go? And I was like, well, if I am aroused, I should go have sex with someone, right? Is there any reason not to? No. So I would go around asking random people to have sex with me.
Did you have any peer pressure saying like that's not good or that is good, or like did you feel any currents of society in any direction as part or you independently just thinking like from first principles?
I think, I mean, like, I'm not saying it was a clean thing. I'm sure that I was experiencing society telling me this is bad, but you have to know, like, I wasn't watching normal movies when I was a teen. Like, we watched Christian movies. The stuff that we watched was filtered. Like, I watched the Titanic and I had no idea that Jack and Rose had sex because it was put through a filtered.
Wait, did they?
Yeah, they went and, he painted her naked and
Yeah.
there was a scene in a car on the ship.
Car? Oh, on the ship.
Yeah, they had like cars in storage and there's a hand. I watched it again later and I was like,
I don't
oh
remember
my God.
the sex scene.
Well, maybe were you also put through a filtered version?
Maybe it's the filter I see. Like, did the couple in the Notebook also have sex? Because maybe for romantic movies, I focus on the romance. Maybe, right? And the sex scenes are always like weirdly filmed in these.
Yeah.
Because it's never, I mean, it feels more like romance than sex. I guess that's the main focus of this, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, anyway. So they had sex. It's good to know now.
They did.
I'll go back and watch now.
You have your own
fact
personal
check.
filter on your brain.
And once you realize that there are some, like the foundation of your beliefs were wrong, then everything might be wrong. And you kind of just doing from first principles.
From first principles, basically. And again, like not totally separate from culture, but also I think in general, I also have a predisposition to just be like, fuck what culture tells you. Just figure out what's right for you and do it. And so that mixed with, the figuring things out from first principles. I did eventually figure out that I didn't like having casual sex with just anybody quite as much. So I stopped that, but it took me a while to figure that out.
What's the negative of casual sex?
It's just like not good. I mean, if you like figure out the chemistry you have with someone better, then it can be a lot nicer. But I wasn't doing that. I was just like somebody I met and I'm like, you seem kind of cute. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't bother to try and develop any chemistry. I mean, I didn't
chemistry
know.
Even outside of sex, just chemistry, like human chemistry,
yeah,
like
just basic
conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like kind of cringy, but I would walk up to guys or send them messages like, would you like to have coitus? Is what I would say.
You would say coitus.
I had said that.
I mean, it's kind of cute in a way.
It's a girl asking you to get laid, so they probably didn't care that much. But anyway, I'm saying that like I had a lot of rebellion out of my system by the time I started sex work.
Yeah.
So like for me, I'm like maybe I'm sure it was somehow related because we were extremely sexually repressed growing up. I remember the day I learned I had a vagina, which was absolutely horrifying. Do not recommend figuring out you have another orifice in your body. But like,
do you want to share the process of you figuring out that you had a vagina?
They told me I had a vagina.
Oh, like intellectually, like there was somebody said
you have
a vagina.
Vagina, yeah.
And that was horrifying to you.
Yeah, I didn't know I had. Because you weren't supposed to ever like touch or look at yourself ever. So I never did. It was really disgusting. And so I had no idea that what was going on in my genital region. And so one day my mom sat me down, I think I was like 9 or 10. And she was like, there's there's another
What?
and you're going to bleed out of it, is what she told me.
Well,
you're going to bleed out of it for a while. And I was like, what the fuck, Mom? I didn't know what the word fuck was, but I would have said that if I had known.
When did you first learn the word fuck?
Oh, I think I learned it when I was at a playground and it was written somewhere and I read it out loud and then a kid next to me started giggling.
Mm-hmm. Did you say fuck again for a while?
No, I think the next time I swore the first time when I was 18. Like intentionally said a swear word when I was 18.
Did it feel good?
I was like really nervous. It was like
What's your favorite
nerve-wracking.
swear word?
I mean, fuck's pretty good.
Yeah, fuck's pretty good.
Yeah.